Kia ora whānau, welcome back to another episode of this series of bringing some awareness and the partnership with police, and we will talk on new topics. So stay with us, we have a new guest in the studio. Kia ora whānau, welcome back. I have a great guest here with me. We will know together about him and the things he do with the police. Karen, right?
Yep.
Did I pronounce it right?
That's how you pronounce it, Karanbir Singh. Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm excited to know more about the things you do in police. But before we go there, we always ask the guest, if I give you the mic and introduce yourself, how would you love to introduce yourself?
So, as I said already, my name is Karanbir Singh from New Zealand Police. Been in police for 80 years. And I'm working as a road policing officer in Wairarapa at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you started first, did you start in Wellington or directly from Wairarapa?
So I started so I joined police in 2016. So I was at Wellington Central for about 4 years. And then I moved over to Wairarapa.
Okay, cool. That's cool. They take you from. Hope that's great there. So then I want to ask you about the why, which is why you decided to join police. What was the reasons behind that, or motivation behind? You said, I want to be police. What was that? Why?
So just want to start a little bit. So I was born in India, in Punjab. That's one of the states north of India.
Yeah.
My father was a police officer, and my grandfather was a police officer as well. So have seen them when I was growing up, seen how disciplined and professional they were. And while I was, because I came to New Zealand in 2009, done my nursing. So I'm a trained nurse. I've done my Bachelor of Nursing, I've done for 6 years. Didn't like the job initially, and then want to do something else, because I wanted to do something else, and my wife encouraged me to join police, which was great to have that support. So I joined the police. That was one of the main reasons, because I'm the third generation now, so just proud, a really proud moment. And I've seen how police actually operate in New Zealand. They're very respectful, and that's the main reason for me joining police.
Wow. Yeah, I just love that. You know how from it started like a family from back home in India, and now with you just continuing the legacy of having a family in police and stuff, which is great service, you know.
Thank you.
That's awesome, Karen. Thank you for sharing that. I want to ask you about your specific role. If you talk to us about, if people want to understand more exactly what's your role cover, what departments they cover, so what do you guys do exactly with the police?
So my role is, I'm a road policing officer at the moment, which is, my role is in prevention role, that is trying to prevent the crime happening and any serious harm happening on our roads. My role at the moment is liaising with Wairarapa Road Safety Council, liaising with councils and conducting checkpoints. And also there are some educational programs that we assist with in the seminars. Those are the things that we are doing. So mainly our focus is actually stopping the crashes or lowering the crashes.
Okay. So when the people give you a call from any incidents and stuff, is it your team and your department guys to respond and go check that?
Yeah. Road policing, it's have two parts. One of them is response. Those are the response and the prevention. I work in prevention group. Right. That is actually trying to, if there are any complaints that has come up and response staff were not able to attend straight away, so we do the follow-up. Response, they have if there is any crash, they will attend the crash straight away. If there is any traffic complaints, for example, if you have a driver driving erratically, we have the registration number. There is an informant that's following them, so we just follow up straight away. And those are the guys, those who are response staff.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. So, and you said you are in the prevention team.
I'm in the prevention team.
Cool. So, what kind of support is there? What do you guys do within community? Let's say you mentioned some workshop and stuff. So, what other activities your team or the police do to educate or make more awareness about this?
So, police in general, what we do is there are different avenues as well. And we're talking about road safety.
Yeah.
So, for example, we have youth aid that are dealing with youths. So they go to schools, they teach kids about how to safely cross the roads, about the scooter safety and having the helmet on and that aspect.
Right.
Then we have, like from my team, prevention team, what we do is we have RIDA program. There's an organization which is Rotary Youth Driver Awareness, and also we have SAD, which is called Student Against Dangerous Driving. So what we do is we go along with them and do a seminar talking about education, how people can change their mindset, because younger generation is the one that is actually going to be the drivers later on. And if we can change their mindset, we can make the change happen and stop the serious harm that's happening on our roads.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. No, that's cool. Thanks, especially with school. It's a great way to, in that age, to educate them so they can grow a little bit, make good decisions.
That's the introduction for the police, and it's a brilliant way. And youth aid team, they do amazing jobs.
Yeah, nice, awesome. So, Karan, what's your experience from the things you saw, from all the things that may come in your daily life from the work? What are the risks there that we're facing that contribute to accidents here in New Zealand? What are the main risks, like contribution to it?
So there are, police focuses on 4 main factors that I have come across as well. One of them, we call it RIDS, R-I-D-S, easier to remember. So R means restraints, that is seatbelts, car seat, and also it's about the child restraints. So the kids sitting in the back, and kids under the age of 7 should be sitting in the back. Then we have impairment. Impairment is 1/3 of the fatal crashes. That is one of the main factors. That is alcohol, drink driving. Then you have people driving under the influence of drugs. Another aspect is about fatigue driving, which is quite uncommon. People are not aware of that much. If you haven't slept, for example, if you haven't slept for about 18 hours, that means you had about 2 standard drinks of alcohol. And if you haven't slept for 24 hours, that's over the legal limit. That is 400 micrograms of alcohol. So it affects differently.
Right.
So another one is our distraction, which is cell phones. These days you see people driving on the road and they're just looking on their cell phone and they're missing, they're not keeping eyes on the road. And that is one of the other factors, that when you're doing that, you are actually moving from one side and crossing the center line and having the head-on collisions. Not you in person, but all the people. And then we have is speed. It's not speed is not itself a factor, but it is one of the major factors. It depends upon whether you're going to walk away from a crash, or whether people are going to carry you away. So that is the difference. So those are the 4 main factors that police concentrate on, trying to reduce the harm on our roads, fatal crashes.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting, especially about the sleep one.
Yeah.
which is, then if that one, let's say if I'm someone who didn't sleep and get into that factor, what will be the charge type? Do they still get charged if there's a charges have been applied? Let's say I've involved in accidents and the investigation find out this was the reason of slipness, least slip. Is there any charges?
So depend upon, usually it is careless driving is one of the main reasons. If depend upon what sort of crash it is. If it is a minor crash, or it is due to the sleep, people can get charged for careless driving. If other person get injured, then a person can be charged with careless driving causing injury on the road or fatal crashes. So they can be charged if there are injuries or if they are find out that they are actually responsible for the crash.
Yeah. Okay, good. People is good to know. So have a good sleep, eh?
Absolutely, have a good sleep. Our roads, they are narrow, and it's so easy if you're going on the countryside, and if you haven't slept or you're not taking regular breaks, it's quite easy to have crashes. And so just to stop those, have a good rest before you drive.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, in New Zealand, there's a lot of beautiful places around the country in the roads. They tell you you take a break, or you can park somewhere and just have a rest there before continuing the whole way, or whole journey, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. We've got a beautiful country.
It is. And how great it is, beside the beach or a mountain, you just sleep there watching that beautiful view.
Absolutely. Lookouts are amazing.
Yeah.
That's why lookout places are there. So just to rest up.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to say in that is rest up and take some, if you're driving a long time, have another person driving. Don't think about driving all the way by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another good one. Yeah, awesome. Great. I want to move a little bit on the parking tickets. Who's responsible and whose main agency look after the parking? Is it the police or is it another agency?
So if you talk about the parking tickets, they are issued by the councils. So they are the main people, those who look after the parking tickets.
Right.
Police can issue stationary ions, but that is more on the aspect if if a vehicle is parked on a pedestrian crossing where there is a safety risk. So police can issue tickets, but parking tickets are through the councils.
Okay, I see. Okay, that's good to know. So, and when there's a speed tickets, right?
Yeah.
Is it by your team guys who do this stuff, buy speed tickets to stop someone when they catch them in camera or the police catch them there over the speed?
So there's two types. So one of them is speed where we have camera vans. Those are stationary, parked on the side of the road. So they catch people with the speed and then the tickets are sent in the mail to them. And if a police officer stop you, then they will obviously give you a reason why they stopped you, and also issue the ticket and demerit points as well along with it.
Yeah, wow, that's too much for them to get. But in those situations, let's say I want to come about some communities who listen and watch this podcast, or ethnic communities. If this kind of scenario happen, and if you had someone who have barely speaking English or language barrier, what are the police response here? How they deal with this kind of cases? Do you guys get translators or someone else will help with this?
So if a person is not able to speak English, we do have interpret service where we can ring them straight away and talk to them and help them try to translate it to them. First of all, usually we get one of their friends if they can talk in English and translate. But if that doesn't happen, then we do have a service available.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's cool. And do you think in terms of road and safety, you mentioned before some initiative like going to schools and making more awareness. Have police done anything toward ethnic communities who, English is their second or third language. Any specific initiatives to go to those communities and make more awareness about this subject?
So if there is migrants, or you can say people, those who are coming into the country, that's their second language. English is not their first language. So there are programs for refugees. We tie up with Red Cross.
Yeah.
So they have an introduction plan where they actually go to different services. Police also attend those as well. Yeah, there is a seminar, so police go there, talk to them, and provide them with the information about how police operate in general, and also road policing. Personally, being part of it in Masterton, and mostly people have questions about road policing and about their licensing, so we can provide that information.
Yeah. That's right. Cool. That's good. So when you guys, let's say, work with, what kind of main challenge you face, if there's any challenges when you work with migrants or refugees, background communities?
With refugees, personally, I've dealt with people that they speak Punjabi, and that helps me because I do speak Punjabi and I speak the same language. But their understanding of road rules, that is quite different. I'm talking from I was born in India. I was there for 21 years. Seatbelt, there's a cultural difference.
Right.
So, for example, seatbelts. So if you are back in India, people, those who are sitting at the back, they don't need to wear seatbelts.
Yeah.
But over here, we have that people need to sit in and have the seatbelt on. For kids as well.
Absolutely.
They don't understand that they just pick up the kids and they are actually holding them in their lap, which is quite common in new migrants coming into the country.
Right.
So those are the things that I personally believe people face because they are those rules and regulations are not happening back in their countries, and over here we have strict rules and there is no tolerance about the car seats.
Yeah, that's right, and it's a fact of culture as well. Sometimes same in my country. If you don't hug a child in the front seats, they may cry and stuff.
Yes,
but we teach them that way, right?
That's right.
That's how we in the back home as well.
Yeah.
But slowly they're also changing, getting into more safety rules.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of the challenges that you mentioned. Then I want to jump into another question, which is about some misconceptions. What would you like? If you can share with us any facts or any misconception that when getting an offence in New Zealand, what kind of biggest misconception it is around that? Because a lot of people say if you get down with the merits of your license, probably you will not get citizenship, or it will delay your citizenship. So explain to us more how much will affect them if someone is getting offense, and maybe once or twice and more, if there's any conversation there.
So in relation to about misconceptions regarding your question regarding offences, that's immigration's decision whether they want to carry on. If it is minor offence, for example, if somebody's speeding and they've done about a little bit over the speed limit or 20 k's over the speed limit, those are infringements. They do count, but end of the day, it's the immigration that make the decision about the residency, not police. But all the information when you apply for the visas or residency, they have to be vetted, and all the information are requested by immigration, so they get all the information. It's up to immigration to decide whether they're going to grant the residency or not. It's not up to police.
Okay, it's not up to it, but police do collaborate to share those information, which is about the person if they got a offense or not offense.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you are applying for a visa, you do have a waiver which you sign
Yeah.
that all the information can be vetted and all the
Mm.
information can be provided. So that's
Yeah.
what you do. So yeah, police do provide that information.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then the immigration, they have their own
Yeah.
procedures about how many minutes you should have or you should not have done in this time of limit for meeting criteria of citizenship. Cool. Then what other things you think that as a challenge for you guys as a police there to deal with the communities?
So personally, I have come across a few of the things. One of them is in New Zealand, we pride ourselves being one of the lowest corrupt police in the world. And we treat everyone fairly. And regardless of their gender or a culture or anything like that. So whenever I have stopped somebody, they're from my country, used to be from India or somebody who speaks the same language. They always try to say, "Can you take some money and let us away?" and that kind of stuff. So bribery, that has come across a few times now. So that is one of the issues that we face because bribery it's a criminal offense, and a person can be arrested for that and charged. So it's about that. Having that understanding, I guess,
exactly.
and that's why I think we are here to have that conversation and let people know. Another one is people think that if we issue tickets, that actually contributes to our salary or we get commission. That's not the fact.
That's what they say, right?
Yeah, that's what they say, and they always talk about it. And all the money that comes in, it goes into the government consolidation fund, and then they actually decide where they want to spend the money. So it's not on police. We don't collect any money. It just goes straight into government.
Yeah, so it's not like that. How many, if you get more tickets, your salaries get up?
No, it's not like that.
Not that
Yeah,
way.
and we don't have any quotas as well, saying you have. It's so you back in. People have come across. Do you have a quota to issue these many tickets? That's not the case. I've been in police for 8 years. There are no quotas that I know of, anyway.
That's great, So they would, so your management that doesn't say, "Oh, Karen, you didn't issue too much tickets this month. What's happening?"
Yeah, that never happened with me. If you're doing your job, I think that
Yeah. Great. That's really great points to explain it. And I want to ask you, I'm aware about the time, but we still have like around 5-6 minutes
that's great.
to discuss 2 more questions. About, we mentioned a very crucial point. Our community is getting diverse and people coming from different cultures and different needs. So what will you think your message will be? How you want you think the communities to work with police to understand better? What will be the things, let's say you give a tips to the newcomers in the country to understand more?
For road policing?
Yes, the specific road policing.
So in relation to road policing, what I would say is NZTA has a great, on NZTA they have resources available. And there's like 14 languages about how to drive in New Zealand. I can share that link with you.
Yep.
So people can click onto that, and it's in, you have English, you have Chinese, you have Japanese, you have Portuguese, you have Arabic, just to name a few of them languages. So all the information is available there. Have a look at that first before you start driving. It also have information about who can drive, for how long you can drive on our roads, and how to be safe on our roads. So if you are in trouble, if you're on roadside, call police. And if you need help, if you can sort out by yourself, that's all right. Otherwise, if you think you need help, call police. We are there to help.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's great. I think the good thing is because here in everything there's a lot of tools and resources available, right?
Yeah.
Only problem is sometimes when community don't know where to find them. Which this is great when you mentioned that, and we will put the links in
Yes.
this episode so people can visit the link, and also down in the description of this podcast, so you can click and know more about it. Great. Coming to the end of this episode, but I want to check with you about what is the message you want to share with us and the people listening and watching this podcast.
So I would like to say, follow the road rules. Still saying, talk about the 4 main factors. Make sure everyone is wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Don't drink drive. Put your phone away. Put it in the glove box or something. Don't keep it close to you, because there is a temptation to look it up. If there is a bell sound goes, and don't speed.
Yeah, awesome. Great message. So thank you so much for sharing and coming and all this informations about making a little bit of awareness through this podcast to people get more making the right decisions.
Yes.
It's all about that. You know this is the rules in this country, then the rest is up to you. The rest of the people to make the decisions, because if you don't make, there's also consequences for that.
Absolutely.
Like, as long as there's a help and there's a support, there's some consequences that's well to prevent you from causing some other harm to yourself and the other people in the road.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you so much, Karen. I'm coming to the end of this one, but we do a tradition in season 5.
Okay.
So that tradition is our guest leave us a message here. So we'll ask you, I'll leave us a questions. So ask whatever question have been left here.
Okay.
And then you also will have opportunity to write us a question for our next guest coming.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So let's see what will be the question. So the question is this, the previous guest from one of the podcasts have mentioned it. It says, what message would you tell your younger self? So what message would you tell to yourself as a younger self? What message you would give to yourself?
Okay. Going back 10 years or something?
Kind of, yeah. If you want 10 years, exactly.
Right. So I would say just keep doing what you're doing and believe in yourself.
That's the one. And exactly after that, if we go 10 years, 2 years, you join the police.
Yes, right.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Karen.